Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Most Excellent Entertainment. I am your host, Keith, and with me this week, man, this is gonna be fun. It's I have
Hey,
known,
I
yes,
never, I did not guarantee any fun.
well, I can bring some fun. But, yeah, I mean, I've known this guy since I was 17 years old. Um, just a wee child. He is a musician who was the is I guess the front man for probably the most important band in my entire life. Uh,
Oh, now stop.
no man, I'm hey. Is Jason Connolly from Brother Meat. He's many other things as well as a singer and a musician, but we'll get into a lot of that stuff. But Jason, thank you so much for doing this, man.
Hey,
Um,
man, this is great.
yeah, I'm so excited to talk to you again. It's been a long time. Um,
Indeed.
yeah, but I guess a little bit of background about how we know each other. I was my mom worked with Jason at the Sheridan Hotel back in Ithaca, New York, and I she brought me a cassette tape of music that I really liked, and then I got a job at the Sheridan when I turned 18, and yeah, I think I saw over the next 2 years. I mean, I saw you guys hundreds of times. Like, there's no way it wasn't hundreds of times. And
Yeah, you were a perennial presence in
yeah,
pretty much in any gig within 50 miles of Ithaca. You seem to make your way to.
yeah, on my bike a lot of the time.
I
So,
know.
so yeah.
Yeah.
Um, there was one point there was like a really bad rainstorm, and I was like, I'm going, I don't care. And I was riding my bike down Route 13, I believe it is, and wiped out and like skinned up my side and still came to the show. So
Was that a haunt show, I think?
yeah, oh yeah, most of the
Yeah,
shows were at the haunt, I think.
right.
Went to a few at the Nines, of course, and Max's,
Right.
and then I saw you guys out of town, I think once at
The Taz, Binghamton, maybe?
yeah, maybe. I know that I got lost on the way home in Elmira. So whatever would be in between
Oh.
Elmira and Ithaca. Um
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was a smattering of shows that we had in central New York that
yeah.
I have vague memories of, like the pig roast. We played in Penn Yan somewhere,
Mm,
in a pancake house. We played in Aurora at the Polish Home. It's like the Polish Community Center.
right.
Semesters in Ithaca, like like
Yeah, oh yeah.
all
I
all over the place,
it,
and all over the Northeast,
yep.
really.
Yeah, I remember we I going to the frat house show where you guys were
Oh,
like playing in a frat house in the
yeah.
living room, and we were rocking out,
Can I
right
can I
next to
just
you.
tell you? Can I just tell you there? So, by the way, I just have to thank you, Keith, because I, other than the other fellows in the band, I don't know of any other but any other person that would want to sort of pick through some of these stories and some of these
Yeah,
experiences. But yes, the frat circuit at Cornell was the most lucrative for us and
yeah,
fed us literally and financially. You know, for better or for worse, we loved the guys at Cornell because we could just they would say, "How much do you need for a Friday night gig?" And because so for folks who maybe are not familiar, another guy in the band, Eric, who is the namesake of the band, Brother Meat, he has a very gregarious personality, very outgoing and direct.
Yeah.
and we'll take risks. So on one particular setting up of a gig, we got a message at the band house from one of these frats, and I said to Eric, like, because they asked, "How much do you guys charge?" And I was going to call them back and say, because our standard was we would ask for $200, and then
Right.
we would maybe get $50 if we were
Right.
lucky, right?
Sure.
So Eric said, 2 grand. I was like, what?
Holy crap.
I'm not going to ask for 2 grand. Are
Yeah.
you serious? He's like, try. So called
Right.
back, said, yeah, it's 2 grand for a Friday night. And they said, okay.
That's amazing, dude.
So that fueled the van, that fueled the refrigerator,
Yeah.
bought guitar strings, like the Cornell frat circuit, as I guess I've named right now,
Yeah.
really subsidized our burgeoning or fledgling career, I guess.
Yeah. Man,
So
I was it's funny talking about just paid for gigs and stuff. I remember one night I was a show I think it was at the Haunt, but I'm not completely positive. And Mark came up after the show with like a case of beer and was like, I gotta pay. I was just like, holy crap.
that's
Yeah.
that's too true and
Yeah.
too yeah, very much so. And there were a number of times where we'd be playing in these places all over the Northeast where we would have a guarantee of whatever amount,
Right.
and many times we did not get the guarantee. So there may have been a few times where we might have, you know, left the present in the bathroom
Yeah,
to
well.
voice our displeasure of the contract that was not executed.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, good times.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's funny to think about because for people who weren't necessarily there, like they don't understand how much you guys grew over time. I mean,
Well, do you want to talk a little bit about, like, because somebody that's kind of jumping in right here,
yeah,
because you and I are kind of like jumping into a conversation like we never,
yeah,
we picked
everybody
up.
knows what we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah, generally what I do is I'll like start out with kind of a framing of how we know each other and whatnot, and then go backwards.
Right.
And
Okay.
then go forward again. So yeah, I mean, if we want to jump all the way, I mean, yeah, let's just go all the way to the beginning.
Okay.
What?
But that's
Yeah,
interesting. I didn't know that it was your mom that passed along a tape
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
you.
Well,
I didn't know
so
that.
yeah, so I remember like I brought the tape. I brought the tape to the Sheridan to like meet you. So funny to think about, but like yeah, and I told you that I thought you guys sounded kind of like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Primus crossed, and you said we're not as weird as Primus. And I was like, yeah, fair. And
Fair.
I mean,
Fair.
that's not what I was thinking then, but yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I get that. But yeah, it's funny because some of my memories are like very sharp. There's specific things that I remember, and that is one of them. I remember after my mom gave me the tape, you guys were going to play a show with Psycho Funkopus, and
Oh my God. Right. Yeah.
yeah, and I was turning 18 in maybe 2 weeks. And you were like, I'll put you on the list. And if they know you're with the band, they probably won't check your ID. And I was like, cool. And I rode my bike down to the haunt. And they were like, no, you can't come in.
Oh man.
And then we just kind of decided my birthday was soon. I'd wait till I turned 18. Um, but I remember that. I remember going all the way down there. I never got to see Psycho Funkopus, who were a very cool band. Um,
Yes, indeed.
yeah. And but that was my like first and only experience of getting kicked out of a show was well I never even got in, so it was my only
Right.
time not getting in because I wasn't 18 yet, but yeah,
Right.
so you guys formed Anything in college, right? Is that how that all came about?
That is correct. This is probably like 1990, around thereabouts or so.
Yeah,
Mark and I, the guitarist from the band, we were playing in a cover band, and playing, the pubs around Ithaca, and you know, there wasn't a U2 or REM song that we didn't play. We basically played the entire catalog, and it was
yeah,
great. It was great fun, right? But about sophomore year or so, Mark and I were like, you know, we wanted to write our own songs.
right.
So, we started to write a couple, and they were not great. I mean, let's just be honest.
Yeah,
But we wanted to do something else. Right about that time, the guy who led the cover band wanted to do something else. So he got some other guys, and he formed his own band, and they did some great originals. And Mark and I went along, and we met Eric, or I should say, I met Eric. I was introduced to him by one of his college roommates. We met at a party at the not the Garden Apartments. I forget exactly what these apartments were called on the IC camp, not on the IC campus. They were off campus. That doesn't matter. Anyway, we met, and pretty quickly we kind of got on,
yeah.
and we got incredibly stoned.
Nice.
So, and we had a great time. We had a
Yeah,
good vibe, right?
yeah.
Oh, and I should probably mention that, I mean, I don't know if anybody cares other than you.
Hey,
So when Mark and I were trying to form our new original band to take over the world, one of our sort of precepts, or governing principles was whoever we get to be in the band, they don't have to be precise. They don't have to be a musician's musician. They don't have to be a graduate of Berkeley or a graduate of the IC College of Music, which produced fantastic musicians. There just has to be a vibe. There has to
yeah,
be a friendship, a kinship. And so my friend said, "Hey, Eric plays drums. You should have Eric play drums for your band." I'm like, "All right." So we went to Mark's basement, and we turned up our guitars, and Eric brought his cruddy drums, and we made loud noises, awful, just very
right.
loud. 6 beers later, we were. He brought like a CD satchel of music of his influences. We didn't ask him; he just brought it, right?
Nice.
So we played for like an hour, and then the rest of the night, for like the next 5 hours, we just listened to music. Everything from like Slayer to James Brown to Frank Zappa, to you know, I mean, yeah, Chili Peppers and stuff,
Yeah,
but a lot of like old school, Parliament, Funkadelic,
nice.
a lot of stuff that I'm embarrassed to admit at that tender age that I was, didn't really have a lot of exposure to,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, sure.
So so I immediately the next day I went to, I think it was called, what was that CD store on the Commons?
Sounds fine.
Sounds Fine. Okay, yeah. So I
Yeah,
went to Sounds Fine, and you know melted one of my credit cards and bought a bunch of CDs. It's like
nice.
because some of the music that I had heard, I bought like a stack of James Brown CDs. And so, I mean, you may be interested in this. So
Yeah,
I started to hear, especially in the James Brown, a lot of the James Brown, if you hear the guitar, that a lot of it is just a suspended seventh, like chick, 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 chick,
oh
like
yeah, sure.
this. So I was like, all right, I like that. I like that a
Yeah.
lot. So if you listen to Lesson in Sex, there's a little guitar part that did it, did it, did
Yep.
it. I totally pulled. I forget exactly what song it was, but it was from listening to James Brown, dropping that into that the do do. like I dropped
Yeah,
that in. So, all those things sort of came together. And again, you would be interested. Lesson in Sex was written I wrote it on an acoustic guitar on the floor of a house I was subletting on outside the exit of Ithaca College. So,
awesome.
and I think it was like 2 in the morning. I
Yeah,
had a little box. It's a cliche, but press play, record the lick, bring it to the fellas. Hey, what do you think of this? And that became like our sort of the foundation
yeah,
of where everything else went, right? Because up to that point, Keith,
yeah,
I don't have any of this stuff anymore, but the stuff I was writing was very earnest, very
yeah, yeah.
serious,
Well,
right?
I have your early recordings album. So
You do?
my formative years, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
have
yeah.
that.
So some of that's in there, right?
Right, sure.
But I'm talking the stuff is like college years.
Right, sure, sure, sure,
This
sure.
I was convinced my music was going to save the world. And you
Hey,
know, I remember playing some of these songs for Eric, and to his credit, he was just like, "All right, have you heard of Slayer?"
right. That makes sense. Yeah,
Right? And I was
yeah,
like, you know,
yeah,
you could just see like, little young tender Jason's like, face melting
yeah,
listening to all this stuff. And, not that we are anywhere in the neighborhood of Slayer or any of these bands that I've mentioned, but it definitely was a shift in
right.
what kind of songs I was writing. And because, I guess what it boiled down to at that time, I'm sorry, I'm totally just
Oh, you're fine. Yeah,
flying away here. So, up to that point, like the thing that Eric helped me do in terms of songs, music, bands, whatever, he reintroduced me to my young Kiss fan self. I grew up, yeah,
yeah,
I grew up worshiping Kiss
yeah,
and the whole rock and roll ethos of having fun,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, and without Eric's influence, the band that you kind of came to know and be introduced to, that it wouldn't be what it was, right?
Yeah,
So
sure.
anyway, yeah, so that was how we sort of met, came together, Lesson in Sex was born, and then that kind of moved us
Yeah.
out.
So, I think I'm right about this, but Brian wasn't the original bass player, right?
He was not. He was
Okay.
not. For a
So, how
brief,
did you guys find Brian? Like,
okay. Brian hates this story.
okay, well,
Um,
oops.
well, hate, I don't know, but
Yeah.
it probably exposes more about me and how much of a prick I was at that time.
Okay. Fair.
So, but yes, our original bass player was a guy by the name of Pete Cook.
Okay.
Great guy. And he played bass with us my senior year and his senior year at Ithaca. When he graduated, he was like, you know what, I'm going to go get a job.
Right on.
This
Okay.
band is, it was fun, but love you guys, but see you later.
Yeah.
But so in like that spring semester, Brian at the time he also went to Ithaca College.
Right.
He was involved in all the concerts and music stuff on campus, organizing Oktoberfests and music things in the quad and I forget exactly concert committee, something.
Sure.
Anyway, so he reached out to us about playing somewhere. And, so Brian and I, that's how we got introduced to each other. But at that time, the details of where we were to play it on the campus, Brian was not great with details.
Okay.
And so, I would say, I mean, we weren't getting paid, but it's like, okay, so where do we set up? How do we, what time? What's the PA? And Brian would be like, PA? You know, and it would just drive me insane, right?
Right.
But that's how we got to know each other, and I got to know that he played bass. And when Pete left, I reached out to Brian and said, "Hey, you know, you want to sit in and jam for a sec?" And he was the fourth piece.
Yeah.
So, because he slid right into the vibe. We were already kind of in a sort of a hard rock fun-ish vibe with Pete on bass. Pete was
Yeah.
very much a straight ahead jung 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 jung
Yeah.
jung 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 jung, right?
Yeah.
All downstrokes.
Yeah.
And Brian came in like, hey, biddy beep biddy biddy
Yeah.
biddy biddy. Like he plays like his personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and it was like a new flavor that there was pre-Brother Meat with Pete,
Right.
fine and dandy, but Brother Meat was complete, with Brian, beep, 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 that stuff.
Yeah. 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 And like there's sounds that Brian made with his bass
Totally.
that definitely, were more than a bass, like he added a
Yeah.
lot to the
Yeah.
band. I think everyone,
He
uh
was big on
you
pedals.
guys
He
all
loved
just together
pedals.
as a unit just made something special, I think. So anyway, like I was saying, for people who weren't there, go back and look at Brother Meat. You guys had a very specific image with like the bell bottoms and like the flowery stuff and the hats and all that sort of stuff. Whose idea was
It
that? Like, how did that come together?
it was just a collection of us. Probably mostly Eric. Eric already he arrived with his own sense of style, right?
Right.
Mark and I would never come up with, hey, let's all wear matching leisure suits. Like that wasn't a
Right.
thing. That
Right.
wasn't something that Mark and I
Right.
probably would have come up with. But early on, yeah, early on, we were heavily influenced by 70s stuff, 70s kitsch and
Yeah.
camp. And then from there, it just got weird. It just got
Yeah.
weirder, less and less, beholden to 70s style and just being weird. Like, Brian used to wear like he used to wear a shirt for pants, stuff like that.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
there's a famous photograph of Eric wearing a 5 times too small Dairy Queen t-shirt with a leopard thong.
Yeah.
So there's all yeah, it just got weird after that, but lots of fun and one thing I sound like an old guy talking about old days, and I
Yeah.
am.
Hey.
But the thing that I definitely loved about us is after, we were never like sort of like, a super precise live band, but we
Right.
played like with heart, had fun, and we could roll into just about almost anywhere, get along with it with whomever else was on the bill.
Yeah.
But after the bill, most of the time, the bands that we were with would come up to us and say, "Oh man, you guys are great! Like,
Yeah.
that was so much fun." In fact, this is one story I wanted to make sure I
Yeah.
slid in here. So we opened up for Blind Melon at Max's.
Yes,
Were
you
you
did.
were you at that show?
I was at the
Yeah.
show. Yeah, I
Okay.
hung out with Shannon Hoon afterwards for like an hour because I was with you guys, so they let me stick around.
Yeah.
It was really
So
cool.
so we got so we got there for sound check, um, and we walk into Max's, and Blind Melon's on stage checking and loading gear and checking this, checking that. Uh, Shannon was sitting on the edge of the drum riser, with his elbows on his knees, like this, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, just looking very just this very intense look, looking down, right?
Right.
And if and pretend you are me at the front door of Max's. This is what he did. Just like this very just like I was like,
Yeah.
guys, we got to go. We're thanks for inviting us, but we got to go. Sorry. Super intense
Yeah.
and didn't say a word to us. None of the guys did in
Yeah.
before the set. So they cleared out. We got our stuff on. We did our check, played our set, and I hadn't said hello to Blind Melon or Shannon or anybody.
Right.
We finished. The second I get off the side of the stage, Shannon comes up to me and goes, "Oh man, you guys are great." You know,
Right.
like because he
Right.
had a really high
His
voice.
voice was very high pitched. Yeah.
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 So, but and he's like slap us on the back, say, "Hey, we got beers back here." It was like,
Yep.
so yeah, it was like I don't know. I
Yeah.
really I live in that moment quite a bit in my older years.
Hey, I understand. So I don't know how many times I have told the story that as an 18-year-old, because I knew Brother Meat, I got to hang out with Shannon Hoon after the show, and he said, "Why don't you have a beer?" And I said, "Dude, I'm 18." And he said, "We have beers in our dressing room. Someone grab this guy one." And I opened it up with the bottle opener that was on his pants, which you can see in the video for No Rain. I've told that story a million times. And
Oh, that's
that,
awesome.
yeah, yeah, and that probably wouldn't have happened if I didn't know you guys. So it's one of the cooler stories of my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, good stuff.
Mine too.
Yeah,
Um, you know, we opened up for the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, and
yeah,
those guys destroyed. Oh my God.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, just an onslaught of like we had a good set that night, I remember, but
Right.
those guys came on. I was like, and all of us were like, "Oh, okay,
That's how you
that's
do
how
it.
you do it,
Yeah,
right?"
yeah,
Yeah, those guys crushed.
yeah. I saw the Bosstones at Max's with Shooty's Groove, but I don't think you guys were on that bill. I think
No, they had come through again, and
okay.
because it was at Max's that we
Yeah,
opened for them. But yeah,
okay.
they were real nice guys, you know,
Yeah,
real down to earth. But as soon as the ladies and gentlemen, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, I was like, "Sure," it's this
yeah, dude.
avalanche of, wall of horns. I'm like, oh man,
Yeah, yeah.
that's
That
it.
was the first time I stage dived was at a Boston show, and I also sprained the crap out of my ankle. But yeah, good times.
Suffer for your art.
Indeed, indeed. And before was old enough to go to shows, you guys opened for the Spin Doctors, right?
Yes, that was at what was that place? It wasn't the Haunt. It was a theater in Ithaca.
Oh, State Theater.
Not it wasn't the State
Not the
Theater.
state? Okay. Huh.
Oh
Well, then I'm
gosh,
not sure.
shoot. But we actually didn't end up. We did our set. We never met those guys.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
they were doing their thing. We cleared off our stuff, and then they appeared. Um,
Okay.
so I have nothing to say, or I have no experience with
With
what's the
Spin
lead
Doctors.
singer's name?
Chris Barron.
Chris. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
we
I
watched the
saw them.
show, but
Right.
that was
I
it.
saw them with the specials and the wallflowers at Ithaca College, which was fun. And
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was before the wallflowers were the wallflowers. So,
right, right.
their first album either had just come out or wasn't quite out yet. So it was different.
I have a memory of a show at Ithaca College, In Excess.
Oh,
This was the album Kick
yeah.
that made them worldwide global megastars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Had not been released yet. It was like a month before. But at the college radio station, we had advance copies because I
Right.
was a DJ at the station,
Yep.
and those guys came on, and I'll never forget it. Like it was like a half filled gymnasium, right?
Wow.
And all of us, like me and my friends, we were all like rocking out. It was like these, and it was an amazing show. They played pretty much the whole record of Kick
Right?
during the set, but you could tell Michael Hunt just was like, y'all don't know what's coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think he
Yeah.
kind of knew, like, y'all are gonna know my name in a minute.
Yeah. I remember like I said, I have very sharp memories about certain conversations. I remember one time talking to you about how long you'd been a fan of NXS and how cool I thought it was because I loved that freaking band. And then you were like, you too, and you said the year of how long you've been a fan of theirs, and I was like, yeah, but you two kind of sucks. That was, of course, just my opinion, but but I was
Well,
way
they
more
they
impressed
have
that you'd known NXS for so long. Or
they
known of them.
eventually sucked.
Yeah, I just not
Yeah,
for
so
me.
yeah, NXS was like my, I don't know. Everybody has their bands that are like, you think that they're your own.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like I know, like I'm connected to these guys. This music
Right.
speaks to me. That you all don't know how good they are. I know how
Yeah,
good they are. The sort of snobbery that comes with it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, NXS was that for me for a long time.
Kick was the first tape I ever bought with my own money. So I mean,
A
yeah,
wise purchase.
thank you. um, so do you remember? I'm not sure if you can remember this or not, but there was a guy. I was just thinking about this guy who opened up for you guys at the
Brad
Haunt.
sings.
Is that him? He
You
was
talk
just
about
by
it.
himself, and he like had some kind of a weird thing that wasn't really an instrument.
Had a wig
And you
and
guys found
would.
him as like a street performer or something, right? In New York? Is that
No, he was
okay?
local to Ithaca. He was the
Okay.
brother. He was the brother, I think, of somebody in Donna the Buffalo. No,
Okay.
no, 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 no. I'm sorry. He was either married to or related to the Burns sisters,
Gotcha. Okay.
in some regard.
Sure.
I probably have that wrong, but I think
Right.
that's
Well,
what
I
it
had it all
is.
wrong, so
So I forget which one of us, it might have been Brian or Eric that saw
yeah.
him. He did like a thing at the ABC Cafe in College
Okay.
Town,
Sure.
where he just sort of rolled up, pressed play on a box, and did karaoke to Lou Rawls.
Right,
And we
right.
we were like, so I didn't see it. I heard
Yeah.
about it, and
Yeah.
from Brian and Eric's excitement, I was like, all right. So we had him open up
Yeah.
at the Haunt.
The weirdest thing I'd ever seen in my life. I don't know if I've ever seen anything weirder than that
We
still.
totally weird. We
Yeah.
loved it, and
Yeah, it was fun.
we
Yeah.
tried to bring him everywhere we could.
That's so awesome.
And he was also very careful to. He was like Kiss. He was like he would appear like
Yeah.
we never really saw who he was because he would come to the gig in his getup with the wig and the glasses and the
Right,
shirt and
right.
everything. And then he would leave. He wouldn't like go back and like, get into like his regular clothes. He would just
Yeah.
exist as Brad,
That's
the
so
character,
awesome,
and
dude.
then leave. So we never had a real conversation
Right. You
with
just talked
whoever
to
Brad
Brad.
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
killer.
we'd give him his, $100 and then he'd walk out.
That's
Like,
so
okay.
cool. Um, so another thing too, this is kind of cool. Do you remember Chin Ho? So
Vague
I will.
memory.
Okay. So Chin Ho was a band that you guys played with in either Vermont, I think it was Vermont. And then
Okay.
they came to Ithaca and opened, you guys opened for them in Vermont, and then they opened for you in Ithaca at the Haunt.
Okay.
They sounded kind of like REM. Um, their guitar
I
player is coming on the show in a couple weeks. So
oh
yeah, and he
I
lives in Ithaca now, which is so weird.
oh.
But
I
yeah,
unfortunately it's not shaking any memories for me.
their singer was like a bald guy who looked almost like he could be in a hardcore band, but they were so very
I
much not a hardcore band.
I
But
bet you Brian knows. Brian is definitely the band historian in many ways,
sure,
so he probably would know what you're saying.
yeah. I remember like out of all the people, I mean, obviously I saw you guys with Dracula Jones a lot and local bands, but out of all the bands that I didn't know beforehand, I bought their CD. Like I really really dug them. So that was cool. And now the guy's coming on my show, so that's cool too. But
a brief aside. One of the
Yeah.
bands that we played with, do you have a recollection of a band called Project Nine?
I'm not sure.
So they were from Canada,
Okay.
and um, we happened to open up for them, or no, they opened up for us at the Taz in Binghamton,
Okay.
and it was one of those shows where, like we put on a show and we were energetic and jumped around and had all kinds of
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
fun. Those guys were like off the charts. Um, whom I think, yeah, they were kind of like at the drive-in,
Oh,
sort
okay.
of sort of insane, right?
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
and goofy and fun, like in the in the middle of their set at the Taz, one of the guys in the band, the stage at the Taz, the back door behind the drummer led
Yeah.
to the street. So he went out into the street, got a garbage can filled with garbage, came back
Okay.
into the stage, and then poured it over his head.
Oh my God.
Right?
That's amazing.
We were like, oh my God, this
Tetanus.
guy is. I mean, it was a spectacle, and it was a
Yeah.
lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
And so we started to wherever we could, we tried to link up with them, and we famously we did a show with them at SUNY Oswego at this bar in Oswego
Okay.
that was kind of more like a sports bar. And they liked us. They had no idea what to make of Project Nine, and we
Yeah.
we loved it. Like they were just absolute like jumping on tables and stuff. Anyway, Project Nine. If anybody from Project Nine is listening to this or watching this, hey guys,
Yeah.
would love to hear if you what you guys ended up doing.
Right. Didn't you guys play with like I don't know if this is the band or not, but was there a band who did like a heavier version of what is the frequency or what's the frequency, Kenneth, right?
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
okay.
I remember
That
that band.
that was really early Brother Meat days. Those were our good friends. They were guys that were bartenders at the Haunt.
Okay.
The name of the band was the Buttered Hose Experience.
Nice. That's awesome.
And so Chris Badgley, who was the lead singer,
Yeah.
who in the right circumstances would be destined for stardom. He's
Yeah.
just one of those guys, one of those characters. And so there's one of their signature songs was "What's the Frequency, Kenneth?" But
Right.
this was
It wasn't
before
the REM song.
REM. No,
Right.
no, no, no,
Because
no.
yeah, gotcha.
So you know the whole thing about Dan Rather and him being
Right, of
accosted at
course.
the
Yeah, yeah,
political
yeah. Yeah.
convention, right? So Badgley, just because he is who he is, he pulled that phrase out of the air for
Right.
their particular song, and none of us knew what the hell he was. We thought it was just this weird non sequitur, like
Right.
Kenneth, what is the
It's the
frequency?
frequency, Kenneth, right? Because that's how
Kenneth.
he did it. Yeah, yeah, he did it different
Yeah.
than right, right.
So we were like, this guy is insane. He's you know. So
Yeah.
only and I did and at the time I had no idea that he was pulling that from this,
Yeah, the assault.
new
Yeah.
this pop culture moment
Yeah.
back in the late 60s. Only later did I realize, oh my God, that's what so anyway,
Yeah.
yes. What's the frequency, Kenneth?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, we have tried to find because Mark has in his attic all kinds of old paraphernalia for those days. And
Nice.
one of the things that he's been looking for and hasn't come across yet, we were hoping to find a buttered hose board tape. Haven't found one yet, but
Man.
man,
Man.
if we do,
Yeah.
I'll send you a copy.
Awesome. Thank you. So, we talked about the college circuit and everything. The band started to pick up some momentum. And you guys record an album with Alex Perialis, who, first of all, is an amazing producer who's worked with some of the coolest metal bands ever, and he's based out of Ithaca. So, what
Yeah.
was that experience like? I mean, I remember you added you put the tracks from the demo on the album, and they sounded like completely new songs. Like he really brought out the sound in those tracks. So what was
Yeah.
it like with the stuff you did fresh in the studio and all that too?
So, let's see. Let me see if I can remember the sequence of events and be brief about it.
Okay, sure.
So we recorded the first three song demo tape, the one that you had probably listened to from your mom,
Yeah.
at a studio in Syracuse, Penguin Studios, run by the great Steve Feldman. We recorded them there. He mixed them there. It was one of those things where it's like recorded three songs, mixed three songs one day. Here's your tape, right?
Right.
So we took those masters down to Ithaca, and you know, we had just kind of run into Alex here and there at gigs, and we knew the folklore
Yeah.
around him, right? We knew what Pyramid meant in the music world, what Alex meant to the music world, and the significance that that man has.
Yeah.
So we were like, and he liked us. He liked our irreverence and that we were fun and we didn't take ourselves that seriously.
Right.
So one summer, well, no, we asked Alex, "Hey, you know, can we work out a deal here?" Because we were poor.
Yeah.
We were poor.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was like, "Yeah." So he was totally helped us out and hooked us up. He gave us a very fair, deep discount on studio and mix time. So, yeah, put together Extraordinarily Moist and Delicious, the first album. And as you say, it was a different record from the tape,
Yeah.
100%, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But also what Alex did, and this is another reason why it sounds the way it does. You may not be familiar with this gentleman, but if you look on some old records on who mastered your favorite record, a lot of these records are probably mastered by Tom Coyne, Coyne, at the Hit Factory in New York. The Hit Factory is no
Sure.
longer
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
Side note, after the Brother Meat years, Brian actually ended up working at the Hit Factory years later. Anyway,
Yeah.
so Tom Coyne totally did out. It was a favor that Alex called in. Alex sent the master to Tom to do the final mix and mastering. That's why it sounds the way that it sounds, right? And so we couldn't credit him because we didn't pay him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he was under all kinds of agreements with labels and studios and stuff. So if his name appeared on something, it would be a problem for him legally.
Yeah.
So we couldn't credit him so when you see if you look at the Brother Meat credits,
Right.
if I remember right, we credited, I think we said mastered by the man from North Gonawanda. It was just a random name,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's who that is, Tom Coyne.
Awesome.
And so when I put together the website for Brother Meat, I put his name there because
Yeah.
unfortunately Tom has left us many years ago now. But
Yeah.
anyway, so okay, I went off on a tangent there, but yeah, that's
Hey,
the story of and then the two extra tracks that appear that following summer. We again were short of cash because we spent all our money on getting the CD printed.
yeah.
We actually had to take out a loan, and Eric's mom co-signed it with us. That was the only way we could get the 3 grand to get the thing printed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, so we had some more songs. So we wanted to work on the next record,
Right.
and we had no money. So Alex was like, "Hey, listen, I'm doing some renovations on the studio. Eric, why don't you be my free labor, and that'll be you know,
There you
your
go.
fee for recording, right?"
Yeah.
So most of that summer of '94, Eric helped. build out the studio, do the refurbed studio at Pyramid.
Oh wow.
So that's when we recorded House and Hand of God, the two extra
Yeah.
tracks. So those two songs were to be the first two songs on another record, but as you know, Eric
Yeah.
left the band, and then we things changed
Yeah,
after
yeah,
that.
for sure. Man. Um, so I don't there's so much to talk about because there's, a lot of history. I do want to touch quick on some of the other stuff that you did besides music and then get back into the music.
Sure.
Because I saw you in Caligula, so I know you've done
Oh
some
my
acting.
God.
Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah.
let me just say that Caligula thing was something else. Um,
Yes.
Something very
Okay.
unexpected happened at at that play. I
Yeah.
was like,
All right.
"Oh, okay."
So all right. Everyone who is watching this right now, when you hear the word Caligula, you probably think of Bob Guccione's porn, or like
Yeah,
basically soft, not even really softcore, it's like hardcore
yeah, yeah,
porn. But the play itself, yes, deals with deviancy and a crazed leader. I wonder
yeah,
what country has a crazed leader. Anyway, so let's not go there.
yeah.
Anyway, but yes, you're right. That was part of that summer. I was in Ithaca. It was a student-run kitchen theater company
Yes,
in
yeah,
in Ithaca,
yeah,
and so okay, the beginning of the play, you probably remember.
yeah.
What happens is most of the cast. So as you arrive to the theater, what you see on set are all these costumes, sort
Right,
of laid out.
right.
The lights go down, and then there's kind of a soft. I think it was like a soft blue light comes up where it's not full white light, but it's like a
Yeah,
soft blue light comes up, and characters come out fully naked.
yeah, they do.
And and you recall the
Yeah,
kitchen theater is about as
small.
big as this room.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
so people are walking by like, "Hey, what's going on here?"
yeah,
Right? And then
yeah,
as the actors arrive on stage, they put on their costumes,
yeah,
right? And then the play starts. That's how it begins.
yeah.
That was a total thing added by the director. And we had a big conversation at the beginning of the rehearsal process where he talked about this. And he said, anybody that doesn't want to do it, totally fine. And I said, I do not
Right,
want to do that. I'm not doing that.
right, right, right.
I am doing this just for fun. You're not paying me a dime.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
here's the funny little tidbit about that is my parents came to see the play.
Oh man.
And one thing I should preface about my mom. My my mom is very much she wants everything to be kind of by the book.
Mm,
She like for example, in high school when I didn't make National Honor Society the first year, she was just beside herself. You know what I mean? Like she
yeah.
wanted everything to be like, she wanted her kids to be like every other kid and like you do things how you're supposed to be doing things, right? So when I was a young kid, being in bands was like
Mm.
because I was in a band with college guys when I was in eighth grade, and
Oh wow.
she was just not into that at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, so again, when it was introduced, anybody who doesn't want to be nude at the beginning of the thing, let me know, and you won't be included in this.
Right.
So parents come to see the play. After the show, I take them out to dinner, and my mom says, totally surprising me, she's like, "How come you weren't naked in the beginning? Everyone else did it. Why didn't you do it?" I'm like, "Mom, I thought that you would be upset if I
Yeah.
walked out naked."
Yeah.
Like, well, why didn't you do it? I'm like, I don't,
Participate.
yeah, yeah, right. Anyway, so I just remember being like totally thrown by my mom's like, why didn't you do it? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not, why? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yes, that is my acting experience, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was fun, but I I was like, holy crap, there are naked people
Yeah.
3 feet away from me.
So yes. So, but again, I must stress
Yeah.
the Caligula play
Right,
is
right.
not the Caligula movie.
Yeah, there was yeah. It was definitely making statements and actual acting and but yeah, it was interesting. Um and then, so I remember at the reunion show, I'm just gonna jump to a couple little things like and then we'll
Sure.
get back to um you I had gotten the first Nelly Furtado album because I really liked I'm Like a Bird and I bought that album. And then you we were talking and you told me that you were doing some TV stuff and that you had gotten to meet her,
Yes. Oh, that's
which
right. Yes.
yeah. And
Yeah.
you were like, she is everything that you think she is, basically. And I was just like, dude, that's awesome. But if you want to talk a little bit about the TV stuff that you've done, because you've done some pretty you've worked on Emmy nominated shows and whatnot at this point. So that's pretty
Well,
huge, man.
regional Emmys,
Yeah, still.
not the primetime Emmys that people are familiar with. But
Yeah, yeah.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
cool stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, after the band kind of wound down, I started doing local cable ads in Ithaca for Time Warner Cable.
Right.
So anybody in the Ithaca area, I don't know if this still exists, but uh, you know, like the local car dealers, and oh gosh, what was it? I forget exactly what. Oh goodness, what was it? Anyway, one of the car dealers on Route 13 was a regular client for to do spots for cars, and their slogan was "We want a customer for life."
Oh, okay.
And the owner of the dealer was, I think he was from Greek descent. The family was Greek that owned the dealership, and he wanted to read the tagline himself. And he had a very thick Greek accent.
Mm.
So the guy that I worked with at the time, we bring him in to record, and we would he kept saying it, and it kept sounding like we want to fuck your wife. So there's like an hour of him saying this over and over again, and we had to sort of piece together the best parts so it didn't sound like I want to fuck your wife.
Yeah.
So I did those cable ads in Ithaca. I moved on down to South Carolina briefly. I worked at an ABC affiliate doing local insertion ads as well. I worked on everything from, doing ads for mobile home lots to pawn shops to car dealers again. I also, this was in Florence, South Carolina. I also learned that Florence is actually one syllable, Keith.
Okay. How's that work?
Florence.
Okay. All
Florence,
right.
South Carolina.
Bones. All right. I got
And I,
you.
one sort of experience, I had a number of experience. I was only down there a year, and I was also in a play down there. I was in Fiddler on the Roof there as
Nice.
well. That's a
Nice.
whole other podcast. So anyway, one of the ads I did was for a local pawn shop, and in Florence, it was, you would often see a combination pawn shop bondsman shop, bail
Mm.
bonds,
Sure.
right?
Sure. Sure.
So I had arrived at this pawn shop to shoot this guy's pawn shop, for an ad. But apparently that morning, one of his clients jumped bail.
Oh.
So I show up with my little camera and my little lights and I am here to the commercial. And this guy is like, he's like, his back is turned to me. He's like,
Yeah.
he turns to me. Now, what the fuck do you want? And I was like, I can come back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'll be back another time.
Right.
So, and then I moved to DC where I did worked at a local public TV station where yes, we one of the things that we tried was doing a weekly and then a nightly music show
Yeah.
where we would bring in acts to do live performances in studio. that was a ton of fun, and I met a lot of people like Nelly Furtado, who at that time she was just starting to get national coverage and break with "I'm Like a Bird." She's and just talk about perfect skin. Oh my
Right.
God, she's absolutely
Yes.
beautiful and
Yeah.
smart and funny and at that I don't know what she's doing now, but like she was just like, why are you not my girlfriend? Just
Right.
so
Right.
amazing, right?
Right.
You know, and when it was time to sing, just she flipped the switch and she
Man.
was there, right? It was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
I met the guys from Quiet Riot.
Oh, cool.
Those guys were a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Famously, Rudy Sarzo, bass player for Mozzie and all kinds of bands.
Yeah.
I'll send you a link to a promo spot we did with Kevin DeBuro,
Oh, nice.
and so yeah, I kind of got to be known in the local DC area for these spots, but this one particular one, I was playing "Come On Feel the Noise" on
Mm.
an acoustic guitar, and I was rehearsing it, and Rudy was watching me, and I guess I was playing the chords wrong.
Oh man.
So it was a very surreal moment to have Rudy Sarzo come over and give me like a 3 minute guitar lesson. I was like, "This is, are we filming this?
Yeah.
Can we please film?" And we weren't, of course not.
Ah.
But yeah, so he taught me how to play, "Come On Feel the Noise," the Slade classic,
Yeah.
correctly on guitar.
Man,
Yeah.
that's killer, dude. Um,
Oh,
so
and we
yeah.
met. I'm sorry, real
No.
quick.
Yeah.
Maroon 5.
Sure.
Uh,
Okay.
this was right when is it "Songs About Jane," something like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Songs about Jane. Yeah.
they had just released that, and they were just beginning to be like. And I heard that guy. What's his name?
Adam Levine.
Adam Levine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that dude sing, and I was like, he is Jeff Buckley's kindred spirit."
Yeah. Yeah.
The guy had such control,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they've become this other thing
Right.
now.
Right. There.
But
Yeah.
at that time, they were a real band. They
Yeah.
all played live. He sang those licks live,
Man.
right?
Yeah.
It was, yeah, those are really nice guys, really down to earth, fun guys.
Yeah. And they were kids when that first album came out, right? They were
Eh,
basically just getting out of
yeah,
high school, right? Yeah.
I was a couple years older than those guys at that time,
Okay.
and
Okay.
these guys were like, yeah,
Yeah.
really, really solid band.
Yeah. Definitely. So, we were kind of at the timeline where the original Brother Meat, the album had come out, and you guys, things started to look very promising. You know, you got placement in a movie,
Yeah,
and you were mentioned in Entertainment
you
Weekly,
you
not
make it
mentioned as the band to watch, but
you
that was the
make
whole
it.
thing.
I like how you frame it.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite as glamorous as sort of
Well, I was,
frame.
I loved you guys, so I was like,
Yeah.
they are going to be
Well,
fucking Pearl Jam. You know, I mean,
we
that's yeah. I mean,
here I can tell you this now
yeah,
with many years of being able to think about things is
yeah,
that at that time, this is right before sort of Eric's leaving of the band.
right,
Yeah, things were picking up.
right,
We were starting to expand our tour circuit.
yeah,
The circle was getting wider in the Northeast where we were going, right?
yeah,
And and we were starting to get more as a band too, as a live playing band.
hmm,
We were never going to be Steely Dan, but we were good. We put on a
yeah,
good
yeah,
show, a good
yeah,
fun show, right? And right when Eric had left, we were starting to expand the gig base of where we were playing. And I can honestly tell you that I never I never entertained the notion that our faces were going to be on MTV or, you know, worldwide global stars.
yeah, yeah,
I honestly was like, you know what? If we can get like a small record deal,
yeah,
go on a tour, maybe two tours or something, and maybe get a deal for two records, maybe like
Yeah.
small independent, just and like live in that world for a couple of years, just give it a shot, right?
Right. Right.
That's kind of that's how that's the bar I was looking at. I thought and was hoping we might get to there.
Yeah.
At that point, actually, Alex was actually starting to take interest in trying to see if anybody else he knew could maybe make something, you know, some sort of development deal or something like that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But that all sputtered out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I never thought we would be playing at the VMA musical boards or any of that
Right.
stuff.
Right.
I
Right.
was like, if we can get to a point where we've put out our own record, we have like a maybe an upgrade from our the shitty van we had to some sort of traveling vehicle where we
Yeah.
could play our gigs and pay our bills. That to me was like
Sure.
I
Sure.
I thought maybe we were heading in that direction, but we will never know.
Yeah, yeah, unfortunately. I mean, so I remember like you guys played the big benefit show at the Rochester War Memorial, right?
Oh no, that was at the Broome County
Syracuse?
Arena.
Broome
That
County
was
Arena.
that,
Okay.
that was in
I knew it was
Binghamton.
yeah, okay. Binghamton, yeah, Broome County Arena. I knew there was that and like I said,
That was so fun.
yeah, it looked fun. I wasn't there, but you gave me a videotape of it.
Oh God,
So
so
I had that VHS tape for a long freaking time.
if
Um,
you, dude, if you have that VHS
yeah,
lying around,
yeah.
let us know.
Okay. Do you not have it?
No,
Oh, that sucks.
there's a bunch of stuff that we just like morons just didn't hold on to.
Yeah, so not to like get into too much. I mean, whatever. It's my podcast. I talk about personal stuff all the time. I was homeless in Milwaukee for like a year and I lived in an 84 Fiero. So I
I'm sorry to
have,
hear that, man.
it's all good. It was a long time ago now, but I have virtually nothing, unfortunately, from my old days of, yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, it happens. But speaking of that kind of stuff, like, so one thing that I did hold on to for a very, very long time until my ex had cats who pooped all over it. Um, I used to like after every gig, I would go find the flyer for the show, and my apartment, literally was like walled with Brother Meat flyers, and I kept those for a really, really long time in like an envelope with a bunch of letters and stuff. But then my ex's cat pooped on the on the package.
Hey, everyone's a critic.
Yeah, right.
So
But you guys had then that makes me think about like the a lot of bands now probably won't understand this, but you guys had a mailing list where
oh
you
my
guys
God, dude.
mailed
Dude.
postcards of the gigs that were coming up and like man,
Yeah.
how much work was that? Like
Dude, so here's oh my God. I think about it's not easy getting into the music business. It doesn't matter what stage of technology where technology is, but
yeah.
I think about all the stamps I ate making those postcards.
Yeah.
Yes, so you're absolutely right. I don't know who suggested it to us. Maybe we just saw that some other bands were doing it. We just would put
Right.
out a clipboard
Yep.
for people to put their name and mailing address, and I would then tabulate all the email addresses, or not email addresses,
Yeah, yeah.
physical
Physical
addresses,
addresses.
right?
Yeah.
And I would put together the date card. Mark worked at the Gregory Paul Press in Ithaca, so
Right.
we got a discount on those cards. Otherwise, that wouldn't have happened.
Right.
But then I'd have to. The thing that was most expensive was the postage because
Sure.
our
19
list
cents or whatever. Yeah.
our list I think at the Zenith was almost 1,000 people.
Sure.
So every month I'm because and then I had to I had to find a way to print out 1,000 labels. We,
Right.
we we had no computer. We had
Yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
laptop.
No, yeah.
So I'd have to I had a little 3x5 disc, right? And
Yeah.
I'd have to go to Kinko's and then of course after a while, this was towards the end of Brother Meat, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Put the disc in and eh, eh, just died. You
Oh
know,
man.
so
Yeah.
the whole
It's
list. Anyway,
over.
so
Yeah.
I have to like go to Kinko's every month. This is boring, I understand, but so I bring that up because yeah, all the manual stuff and putting up posters these days, I don't know if
Yeah.
it's any easier these days because there's just so many. It's just the
Right. Right.
volume of stuff that is available at your fingertips
Yeah.
and the quality of stuff that people are producing in their bedrooms and their basements
Yeah.
is outstanding, Like
Yeah.
so, and now I'm jumping ahead. So in the last few years, we have started, the Brother Meat fellows have started to get together again and start writing and recording again. So I've got a little home studio set up in my basement, which is studio is in quotes when I say studio. It's
Yeah.
basically just me and a laptop and a microphone. That's all it is.
I mean, that's a studio now.
Yeah, no,
So,
no, that's exactly right. That's
yeah.
exactly right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're this new record that I told you about, who knows when it's going to be sort of put
Yeah.
together, but I sent you those rough mixes just to give you an idea of where,
Right where you're headed.
what the stuff sounds like.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, it's just for our amusement, man. It's just, and
Right.
it's so much fun. I love those guys to death. They are my brothers until the day that I die. It really, those years that we were hoofing it in the van and getting ripped off by club owners, you form a bond that is really a familial bond. It does raise to the level of family because of all the
Yeah.
crap you had to endure. There is no other relationship in my life that is like it.
Yeah.
And I don't think that there will be.
Yeah. I mean, dude, so obviously we knew each other before the band, before I started following the band, but like I've never had an experience like that in my life, and I'm never going to again. Like you guys let me come on stage and sing badly with you, and like, like I got to come to your house and like hang out, and like I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I to this day fucking love you guys. That will never ever not be a thing, and I was just a fan, if you will. And it's just like,
You were a friend. You weren't I
yeah,
mean, yeah,
yeah,
I mean a
fan,
fan, but
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. So, man, you tried to come
you,
to one of my birthday parties. Do you remember that? The birthday party in I don't remember where I was living at the time. But I was out picking up guests and you said you were like, sorry I didn't stay. I came in and your brother was like, my brother was like blasting some kind of hip hop on the stereo and everyone was sitting around like smoking weed and whatnot, and you were just like, hey, this is for Keith, and left. Do you remember that at all?
I don't remember
Okay.
that.
No biggie. It was like where was that house? Um it was I was working at the PNC. Like I wasn't even I was still going to shows, so I invited you to the party. Uh
I
man,
don't remember.
I don't remember what that place is called. That it's Ellis Hollow. It was in Ellis Hollow.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I know Ellis Hollow. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
remember
yeah.
this experience though. Yeah,
Okay.
no.
Yeah. I mean, it was like my 20th birthday, so it was 31 years ago. So totally. But I also another time I was having a birthday party at the same time that you guys were having a party when we lived out in Freeville, and you guys lived like literally across the road from where I was staying.
The
So
dip mo we called that house
yeah, the dip
the dip
mola.
mola because of the
Right.
phone
Right.
number.
Right. And I bounced back and forth, and your guys' party ended up being much more fun than my party. But
That yeah, those were yeah, that house was.
Yeah.
My God.
Good times, man.
Uh, yeah. So the landlord he's a little insane. Danny was his name, and
Yeah.
one morning or not one afternoon, I came back from a shift at the Sheridan, and he had his like backhoe out in the backyard. He was looking for a water line or something, but he had no charts or blueprints or like, anything to
Taking up
tell
the
him where
yard.
stuff was. The entire backyard was a pit
Oh my God.
because, because I remember hearing noise and I looked out the back window and everything. It's like this. It was like he was digging out a pool,
Yeah,
like, and the whole thing was just and mounds of dirt on the
man,
side.
man.
And he's like, "Huh, I can't find the pipe."
Oh
Like
my
that's
Lord.
that's how he talked.
That's too funny.
That's pretty funny. Anyway,
Yeah,
yeah, the Dip Mola. I remember those years.
that
Oh,
was fun.
oh
Yeah.
boy.
Um, but yeah, I mean, so um, I want to
I, sh-
talk.
I should I should I should warn you. I got about 10, 15 minutes or so, and then
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I gotta
Okay,
roll to
so
a meeting.
all right. Geez, man. So so I, all right.
So sorry.
No, you're fine. Google Monk, you guys covered it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and you covered a lot of other cool songs. Um, I just wanted to mention that because now Google Monk is like because of Stranger Things a couple years ago blew up. Um,
Yeah.
but that's cool that you guys, kind
Well, yeah.
of
Well, yeah. Some of the covers we did just became, you know, for for us and for folks that came to see our shows, just
yeah,
became part and parcel of the show.
right.
Of course, I'm thinking of Heartbreaker, the,
Yes.
the Pat Benatar rendition we did
Yeah.
of Eric's brilliant falsetto into Slayer mode, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Uh, it was always a showstopper wherever we went,
Yeah.
and it was always I always knew we had like an ace in our back pocket. If we were at some show, this happened a lot at places like we were playing there the first time.
Yeah. They were just kind of
People would be like, "Hey, this guy's all right. This guy's all right," and then all of a sudden Eric would walk out, no shirt,
right.
and your love is like a tidal wave. Oh, yeah,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
people and literally people would be like,
What?
spill their
Yes.
drinks, and
Yeah.
then after that we had them,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they were and anyway,
Man.
lots of fun.
Yeah, definitely. So I want to make sure that a couple. So there was a whole second half where you guys got a couple new members and you put out a metal album. Um,
If you want to chat again sometime and do
yeah,
like
we
a
should
part two, we
definitely do a
can.
part two of the second half of Brother Meat.
Sure.
Um, yeah, yeah, because this has been super, 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 super fun. Obviously, one thing that I do want to talk about before we go, and I hope this doesn't embarrass you, but at one
Oh
point,
boy.
I had bought you some very tight bell bottoms for Christmas, and and I gave them to you, and I was like, I hope you can fit into them, and you said you didn't wear underwear when you were on stage. I you talked about how it was freeing or whatever. It was like a joke, obviously. But I this is how much like you were like I haven't worn underwear since, dude.
Oh man, dude,
Since that conversation. Um,
you shouldn't be listening to a young egomaniac front
dude,
man of a band.
whatever. It's so much more comfortable. You were 100% correct. So, but yeah,
It
dude,
it
that's how
is
much you guys man, yeah.
it is freeing. I will
Yeah,
say that.
and I also you did a guest DJ spot at Ithaca College, and you played Buffalo Tom. It was the first time I ever heard them, and Buffalo Tom to this day is one of my favorite bands.
Great band.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I wouldn't have heard them because obviously they blew up a bit, but the first time I ever heard them was when you played them. So that's
Cool.
very cool. I mean, yeah, dude, I just wanted to throw in a couple little, but man, I guess we'll go ahead and let you get to your meeting. Um,
Yeah, but I
yeah,
one thing I wanted to talk a little bit about. I remembered.
Yeah.
That specific show where you came in and you were like, your body was like a
Yeah, 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 yeah,
raspberry.
yeah, dude. I skid,
So
I skidded down Route 13. Like that's literally what happened. And Eric went and got me a big cup of ice to put on my side.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I do remember the last gig with Eric at the
yeah,
Haunt.
yeah.
Eric brought you on stage
And yeah,
to
gave me a shout out.
recognize you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
and
he called it a
and
blizzard, and I didn't correct him because it was
yeah,
actually a giant rainstorm. But either way, dude, it still was great.
he was rolling. You know,
Yeah, yeah. He was like he rode his bike down in the blizzard of '92 or whatever, and it was
right?
like, well, it wasn't quite a blizzard, but thank you.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. Yeah, yeah. Um, oh, geez, now there was something else that I wanted to say, and I can't remember what it was. My brain just gave it, just it just went out the door. But, yeah. So periodically, I will look up Brother Meat. Just I've done it for years. And a couple months ago, you guys were on Spotify, and I was like,
Yes.
holy crap. So that was really, 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 really cool to be able to like put the music in my pocket and play it for my son, who loves you guys now. So
Dude, you buried the lead. I didn't know you were a father.
you didn't?
I did
Oh,
not.
brother, I have too many kids, but I am, yeah, I have five kids.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm actually raising my son, who is my second youngest, on my own. I'm a single dad. He just turned 11 in October.
Wow.
Yeah, his birthday's on Halloween.
Oh, well,
So
congratulations. That's
thank you.
amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, he's so cool. I actually have to go coach his basketball practice later. Um, he's so different than I was. He's like a super athlete and like really coordinated. So, but he also sings and writes songs and stuff, which you know, he's creative and athletic. So yeah, he's pretty freaking awesome. Um, but yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, yeah, right on. Um, so yeah, you guys are on Spotify now. You've got music coming out. There's
Yes.
also a website that the guy has his 100 favorite albums of all time, and he has
Oh, yeah, we saw that. We saw
like
that.
yeah, multiple Brother Meat albums are on there. So that's really cool.
That's
Um,
yeah, that's funny.
yeah, yeah. So I'm not the only one who wants to hear these stories, man.
I've rarely this hasn't happened all that much.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, this is like 20 years ago. I
yeah,
would get occasional comments on my YouTube page because I posted Brother Meat audio,
yeah.
and a lot of the guys that contact me are Cornell frat guys,
Sure, of course. Yeah.
and
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
it's funny.
yeah, yeah. You guys,
So,
they loved you guys, dude.
and we love them, man, because
Yeah,
I mean, they treated us like kings, and we had no right to be treated like kings. I don't know if they really knew the value of money at that point in
yeah,
their lives.
yeah.
They just, their frat had it, so it's like, yeah, sure.
Right. Yeah,
They love, yeah.
yeah.
They brought, cater
Right,
our
right, right,
backstage and shit.
right.
I was like, yeah, this is how you do it, and like,
Yeah, this is
but
it. We're rock stars.
yeah,
Yeah. So I do want to, real quick, and then I guess it's probably been close to the time for you to head out. Uh, I I remember once the frat guys wanted to like hang out with me, and I worked the late night shift at the Sheridan. So they started calling, and I was living with my mom, and they started calling and just leaving these crazy messages like, "Brother Meat, wake up, Keith!" And it was insane, dude. And I
oh
did not
boy.
wake up. I was asleep. But they left multiple insane messages on my mom's answering machine because they wanted to hang out. Um, so that was
Sorry
fun.
about that.
That's all good, dude. I thought it was cool. I just wasn't getting up. I was tired. But
Right.
yeah, but man, I appreciate you so much for doing this, dude. Thank you. This is
Sure.
so cool,
We
so fun.
we can do a part two at some
Yeah,
point.
let's
So
definitely
yeah.
do it. I mean, I'm booked until February 5th, but after that, wide open. So
Okay.
All right.
Well, this has been fun, Keith. Great
Yeah,
chatting with you again.
yeah, it has been really fun. So yeah, Jason, thank you so much. I'm gonna try to wrap this up professionally, even though like I'm all giddy now. This is it's so cool, dude. Honestly, like we haven't talked in since like 2000 or 2001. It's
20,
been a
25
really long
years,
time.
something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
yeah. So this has been very cool. I need to thank Tyler Martin, my producer. Couldn't do this without him. Coming up in the next couple weeks, we've got the Moonlight Seekers. I'm interviewing the whole freaking band. So that's going to be fun. I've never interviewed a whole band before. So hopefully I keep my head on a swivel and it goes well. Um, we've got, I can't remember his last name, but Mike from Chin Ho will be coming on the week after that. And we're doing our live watch along next weekend of the Royal Rumble. So that'll be fun. Um, and anyway, aside from that, man, Jason, again, thank you so much. Everybody go to Spotify, go to different streaming services, check out Brother Meat, get them over 1,000 uh, listens so you can get a little coin in their pocket. Um, and we'll see you guys next week with more Most Excellent Entertainment.